My name is Ron Moppett. I'm now in my Calgary studio where I spend most of my time, virus or not. But what I'd like to do is take you downtown and visit my exhibition at the Glenbow Museum. Hello again, Ron Moppett here. Well, not really. We're virtually downtown Calgary at the Glenbow Museum on the second floor. And we're about to go into a recent exhibition of my work entitled Do You Remember Snow and Stars?, which is actually the title of the One New Work. Now, the One New Work series is curated by Nancy Tousley and has been running for a number of years, but it's really a privilege for me to be showing this circumstance. I've shown at the Glenbow many, many times. The Glenbow has been very good to me in terms of collecting my work. I had a big retrospective here in about 1990. And interestingly enough, I've been working in Calgary for over 50 years, and one of my very first jobs was as an exhibition technician at the old Glenbow on 11th Avenue. So I know the Glenbow from the ground floor up. Now, what we're looking at now is a maquette or perhaps a sketch. I sometimes call them souvenirs because they are a developing idea for a work, but I call them a souvenir because they're not actually a design for the work, but they do carry much of the information of that work. And I first started making them because the paintings that I often made were rather big, and I was able to see them by making something that was small. So across the room there is the One New Work, the painting that looks to be red, yellow, and blue with a little house at the end. There's actually a mirror in the middle of that painting, and I should mention that I've often delighted in calling my paintings walk-in paintings, which actually comes from the artist Jim Rosenkist. But the idea is that the painting is big enough that you feel like you're enveloped and you can actually go into the picture. And as you can see with this picture, there is a lot going on, a lot of images, and I don't want you to worry about what it all means. I want you to delight in the color. Can you see the mirror in the middle there? Okay, that pulls you into the painting, pulls the room into the painting. And so the painting has all kinds of spaces in it, and we're going around the room now. And what you will see without worrying about what things mean is a lot of color. A lot of color in the paintings. That's a special interest of mine, and I think it's a strength of my work. And you will also notice that at Nancy's suggestion, we've painted the walls. So you really are not only looking at a walk-in painting, but you are enveloped in a painting. This is one of the panels in the show that's part of the Glenbow collection. It's a still life painting. It's a Coleman stove. And it's sitting on top of a vinyl replication of some of the fabric I use, which is particularly European in nature. So what we have there was European landscape with a Western Canadian Coleman camping stove. We've now gone across the room. There are actually 10 separate panels in this environment that I've created, and I've taken panels from many different paintings to construct a new walk-in painting environment. The painting on the left is quite simply a window-like thing. There's an igloo with a mirror in the blue panel, colored dots, a pearl necklace, and the painting on the right was part of a collection, like the Glenbow painting is a collection piece, but the rest of the panels all come from other paintings of mine, repurposed for this exhibition. In the middle of the room, a sculpture with a sinking chair and a sinking pirate boat and a floating iceberg and underneath the chair you can see reflected in the mirror a ghost-like apparition that is owl-like. Here's the iceberg with glass tile. If you would want to see more of my work, you can go to the East Village, where there's a super long mosaic mural that employs tiles just like that. So there's a lot of traveling in this exhibition, and you can see it in the boat, you can see it in the stool in the one new work painting which comes from Greece. I was recently in Greece, and that was a marvelous experience. I never quite know what I will bring home with me on those occasions. But inasmuch as this exhibition is about traveling through a history of my work, I mentioned Greece, and I wonder how many of you thought, why is the Lassie dog upside down? Well, sometimes I paint things upside down so that they develop a more dreamlike context rather than it being illustrational or specifically referential. But the upside down Lassie dog can take us back to Greece and the hunter god Narcissus. There you go, look it up. Goodbye.